Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful day, and of course, we say this is the ultimate ghetto show. We call it the Konki Show. I'm your host, and I go by the name Konki the host. And today we have amazing guest with us, and we are going to talk about youth and leadership. On my right is one favorite friend of mine, an intellectual. He goes by the name Perez Gira. He is a political analyst and also is involved in digital, something to do with the digital management, na vitu kama hizo. And on my left is Sami Rabala, also a very good friend of mine. He is involved with youth and politics and also something related to economics, and definitely they are students from Moi University. Welcome, my brothers.
Thank you.
Karibuni sana, and it's been long.
Quite some time.
Something funny, you guys have never known. We went to the same primary school with these guys. Kidogo mimi nilikuwa mbele yao, so mimi nimekula chumvi. Nimekula chumvi. So if you need to get some of the stories to do with me, you can look for these guys. Youth and leadership. Sami, what roles do youth need to play?
Okay, in terms of youth and leadership, youth play a huge role in the terms of leadership, especially in this country. Youths need to come out and defend their rights in terms of leadership, because we know that we always say that we are the leaders of tomorrow.
Sure.
But which tomorrow are we talking about? We need to talk about the current. Leadership starts from your home, start with yourself in your life. So if you cannot lead your life, how do you expect to lead some people outside there?
Mr. Gira, are we youth equipped for these roles?
I'd say yes and I'd say no. Yes, because opportunities are there, and no, because there opportunities are there, but there are no the linkage between accessing the opportunities and advocating for them. That's where the challenge is.
Okay.
Because youth are willing to be involved, but there's a barrier. There's a barrier between access to opportunities and implementation of such policies to ensure that the youth on the ground is able to be reached to perform these duties.
Okay. Because we're talking about youth and leadership on all round. We're talking about political areas. We're talking about the economical area. We are talking about career-wise. What are some of those challenges that we youths or youths outside there they go through, and they are not able to get to these heights of leadership?
One of the greatest challenges that we are facing as a country and as a continent in general is one, corruption, two, nepotism, and three, lack of goodwill from political leaders and senior leaders. Because generally in Africa, the bulge of youth, more than 50%. Actually, Africa is the youngest continent
Sure.
In the world. So youth in Africa are innovative. Youths in Africa are agile and very energetic, but the platform to thrive is very, very, very poor. If you look generally in Africa, the leadership is aged. You can mention only a few countries where you can get where at least there's a young leadership in place. So it's a challenge because the systems that are there, I personally feel they are post-colonial. You get, whereby our seniors, our fathers, inherited a leadership style which they have continued to implement, which has not come in time or in tune with the way the youth of today want to be led.
Sure.
It's a big challenge.
He has said something about those people who are in leadership at this time. They are people who are aged, and it's very hard for them to release the power to the young people. What do you think youths need to, or the young person or the young people outside there need to do in order to either are they going to use force, or what mechanism are they going to, or are they supposed to use?
Always in terms of force, we cannot use force because we are fighting government machineries and you have no that capabilities. All I can say that youth need to come out. We need to give the people what we call civic education. In terms of, you see that the kind of elections that we go through, I know that that's one type of leadership in terms of politics. you see the kind of voting system that we have in the country. People will always vote for the rich, and you don't expect a young person below 30 years to be a billionaire.
Sure.
How do you expect a young person to be a billionaire? And this billionaire also come out to dish out money so that he gets the seat. So what happens? These old people will always win because these are the people who made this money many years ago. So I think that the kind of challenges we face is the mentality, is the kind of mindset that we have in Africa. We have the belief that young people cannot make it. We believe that they are not experienced, but how will I be experienced if you don't test me?
Sure.
And how will you test me if you don't give me the opportunity? So I believe that the young people, the people outside there, our parents, need to give us that chance. They need to believe in us, just like they believe in these old people. Because according scientifically, I believe that the reason why the army people do it at 55 is because at 55 your brain cells no longer grow.
Sure.
Which means that you no longer have new ideas. But the young people are still growing, which means that they still have new ideas, they are still innovative. All they need is a guideline.
Just to add on what you said, the challenge that we are facing as young people, I included, is we are not united in one way, because what I would really advocate for is young people to organize in a manner like we come together. We have our own issues. Youth are talented in various capacities.
Sure.
There are those in music industry, there are those in corporate world, there are those who are innovative in their own ways. You get? So if youths can be able to organize themselves, because the challenge that is there is the political class, the elite are old people. There is no elite who is a young man below that.
They are always like old people.
They are all guys. You get? So if young people can be able to organize themselves, find an objective, and objectives are there. Not that they are not there, they are there. Align themselves in that and advocate for that. As you said, you cannot fight, you can only advocate.
Sure.
And advocating can only be done when you are organized. You get? So that's a very important aspect.
They always say you need to fight for power.
Yes.
You fight for power.
Yes.
And these old people have come up with something like a system that always tries to defend them and stuff. So is the advocating kind of way the best way to reach out and get this power from people?
It's known, and everybody, it's always quoted everywhere, that there's no power like people power. And as I earlier alluded, in Kenya, in this context, Kenya as a context, we are the majority as youth.
Sure.
Youth are the majority. You get? So power can be gotten by youth if they want to. If they can organize, align themselves with one objective and one idea, and rally behind an objective that is clear and to their favor, this can be achieved.
Do you think the education system prepares these youths to come out and be able to stand on their own and get these roles that they are looking for, both in the corporate world, political, and even in the society? Is the education system equipping them properly?
Okay, in terms of our education system, there's a big problem with our education. We have to agree on that. Okay, that's the reason why people will always tell you that degree ni degree. And I'll say that degree is degree.
Well,
and that's one challenge that we need to face. That's why when it comes to degree ni degree, you realize that a diploma student is always comes out 5 marks better than a degree student at one point. Though degree is more privileged, but diploma becomes that they do more practicals. So, and life outside there needs people with guts.
Sure.
They need people with practicals, because I'm not going to come into your house and take the measurements of your house in terms of theory. I need to have practicals. So our education system, we need to change it from the theory, because it's not equipping these youths. We are always talking about corruptions, but do we teach people about the good way to govern in our schools? Do we have such kind of topics? We always talk about sexuality. Do we really have a good topic to teach about these people? There is no school of leadership, we know all that, because leadership is always inborn. You always make yourself a leader.
Sure.
But does our schools really equip us to be the people that we want to be outside there, or we are just going to school because we want to finish school? That's the question that we need to ask. So I say that our system really, I can give it to 30%.
Do you agree with what Sam is saying?
Partly. Kenya as a region has the best policies. Actually, in Africa, I think Kenya is among the countries that have the great policies. The challenge is again implementation. opportunities are there. I remember my father once told me that during their time, whenever you are through with school, you go to the youth system, the government youth system, and opportunities were available.
Sure.
Immediately you are through the youth system, you are either integrated into government or any other sector. There are opportunities, and I'll still say the problem is we are still stagnating to the policies of the yesteryears.
Sure.
Times have changed. We are in a new century. Things are supposed to have evolved. If you look at Europe, there are young billionaires, young millionaires, and again I want to insist, the idea is not to be a millionaire or a billionaire. The idea is to at least make stride in life. You can be able to feed yourself, you can be able to clothe yourself, you can be able to shelter yourself. So Kenya is a unique prospect, because I feel we can do more, we can do better. Just that our leaders to be more pro youth and stop being selfish.
There's something you've touched on, policies, and that brings me to another question. Do you think the policies that have been set or that have been brought by the government, do they provide like a good platform, or that does it provide a fair ground for even the youth to have a competitive
environment? The policies are there. I can give an example. Like if now you are to start a venture, you must first go and clear with the HELB. You must go and clear with the ESCC. You must go and clear with DCI and all these things. This you're telling to a young man who is just starting life, has no job, has no platform to thrive, and I always try to think like, why can this policy be like? Once you've established yourself, the government can always come back and claim what is theirs. You get? Instead of always bombarding, because before you even start a venture, you have to pay.
Yeah, sure.
You're starting at a deficit. You get? So I still believe we can do more. The government can do more. The government can do more.
As part of that, Elvis, I can say that we still have a long way to go in Africa in terms of my country, Kenya. You'll always find that our politicians will stand on podiums and tell us to be investors, to be entrepreneurs. To be an entrepreneur, you need money.
Sure.
You need capital. If they are politicians and they are paid, why do you expect me to get money to be an entrepreneur? You expect me to start my own business without cash, and you say that I'm becoming a waste. You cannot start a business without money. So, and if you go to the process of getting this cash, you'll get bored on the way. The challenges are always there. So I can say that our system is not simple, and that's why the youth are always into drugs. The youth are always into other activities like crime. Why? Because the biggest challenge is that our policies, we do not implement those policies. The policies that have been set, we always talk about those policies. They are very good on paper, but on practical, theoretical.
I want to call out this behavior. I'll call it behavior that I've seen that is really coming up, whereby the political class, the political leaders, the only thing they can offer youth are wheelbarrows, mkokoteni, vijiko, and these car wash things. You get these machines. Well, it's a noble idea. You cannot give me a car. Like personally, let me use myself. You give me a mkokoteni. Maybe I don't have that capacity or energy to move around. That's not where I want to thrive. You get? We have institutions like there's one platform where I feel if the government invests more, the arts. If you invest on arts, we can get musicians, we can get actors.
Sure.
Like I can see the team here. If the government can be able to pump resources into this trajectory, we are going to have a very empowered youth. Kabisa.
In the corporate world, as we finish, what is the hardest things or the hardest thing that makes a youth not even to thrive?
Bureaucracy. It's a challenge because in the corporate world you cannot just come out of nowhere and stay a corporate. You have to go through the ladder and everything. And it's not like it's in all areas. So corporate world, I would understand because you need experience. You need to have at least be conversant with happenings around. Because when you talk about the corporate world, you talk about these brands and this all like. So corporate world, it's challenging because again, as I said, you need resources.
Sure.
You cannot just wake up and say you are owning this thing. You need resources. And again, the government can do better by having a kitty. I believe
for the
having a kitty, a kitty. It's really important. I feel they are doing but it needs some more push.
And definitely that is what we are talking about. Youths outside there, this is what we are here for you. We are here to inspire you and also give you the challenge to move outside there and make it happen. I'll leave you by one quote that was given out by one famous leader from Africa, that is the late Kofi Annan. He once said, you are never too young to lead. You are never too young to do what you've always dreamt of. We always say the future belongs to the youth, but it will only be yours if you take it. Perez, where can people find you?
On Facebook, Gira Perez. On Twitter, at Gira Perez. Yes.
Sami?
Awesome Rabala on Facebook, Awesome Rabala on Twitter and Instagram.
Nice. And you'll always find me on Instagram. I go by the name Konki the Host. And you will always find us on YouTube. Subscribe. Give us your comments. Give us what you think. Who do you want us to host next? And we will also be blessed to do that. Until next time, bye-bye.